distance, but believe it or not, in that mist there are countless islands, and hopefully it'll clear at time. The islands, yes, the west coast of Scotland. It's only about 15 miles away, that's all. And for about 10 miles out under that lovely Causeway at this minute are reefs, you know, reefs, rocks. And indeed, another little story. 1600s, the King of Spain decided he was going to invade England. He assembled an armada of ships, the Spanish Armada as we know of it in history. The Spanish Armada, thousands of soldiers on these ships and all sorts of equipment and horses, etc. So they set sail for England, the shores of England. Now, after a ferocious naval battle, which I'm told lasted nearly 24 hours, the Spanish fleet was eventually routed and turned. All of this taking place in the area known as St. George's Channel. That's the channel there between Devon and Cornwall and the coast of Brittany there on the corner of France. Okay, so all of this is going on, the 1600s. Okay, the Spanish fleet make the decision to head for home. Some of the fleet, about 100 of the boats, went up the Irish Sea because there was so much ferocious fighting. They decided to go up the Irish Sea, across the top of Ireland where we are here, and down along the western seaboard. All did not go well. There were two dreadful storms along here when they were here, and about 80 boats were shipwrecked, dashed in on the rocks. That's a formidable shoreline down there. Rocks, rocks and more rocks. And on the way in you've got loads and loads of hidden rocks under the water. So, shipwrecked, that was that. So the rest of the fleet headed on, about 50 ships I'm told, down the west coast of Ireland. More problems, another ferocious storm, and practically all of them were decimated near what we call Galway Bay and Galway City. If anybody has visited Galway, you might have come across near the Claddagh, the famous old area called the Claddagh. There's what's known as the Spanish Arch, and that's in honour of the thousands of people who died there from those ships, and believe it or not, quite a few thousand survived, washed ashore, integrated with the locals, married the locals, etc. And they decided that to hell with the King of Spain and to hell with going back to Spain. So they never went back, and that's why we have in Galway City the Spanish Arch. Okay, finally we're going to pull in now in the next minute or two. We're going to hop off just for a few minutes, and you can get some lovely photos. The sun is shining, of Dunluce Castle, as I said earlier, fully occupied up to 1904. The kitchens, they heard a rumble, as I've said earlier. Maybe you were asleep, not to worry. And the kitchens slid into the sea, and they all got the hell out of the castle at that stage, and they never went back. Now we're going to pull up here on the roadside, so when you just hop off the bus, you don't have to walk far, just hop off the bus and you get fabulous views of the castle there to our left. So we just stop here for a couple of minutes to get some photo shots, alright? If you'd like to. And then our next stop is a few minutes, one of our long stops, where we'll get